Right, you little book talkers. So I have a little update on the writing challenge that I have set myself. I set myself the challenge of trying to write a novella from scratch in 17 days. So basically, from 2 weeks ago up until the 31st of December. So, which I'm glad to say I've actually succeeded in doing. I've actually finished writing the first draft of this latest novella, which will be book 6 in the Half Dead series. I finished that this morning. Today I wrote 1,349 words, which brings it to a total of 16,905 words. Now that is quite short for a novella. Usually they range between, well, I've seen different kind of amounts, but it's kind of usually between 25,000 up to 40,000 words for a novella. So I was aiming for around about 30,000 words ish. What I've written is actually very loose. It's very extremely rough and needs a lot of work to it. There isn't a lot of, I haven't really gone over the top with the prose, so I need to, kind of work on that, which is obviously going to bulk up the word count. And I need to do a lot of character development as well, because as I've gone along, I've realised that a lot of the characters are just sounding exactly the same and they're not consistent with the way their personalities are. So I need to kind of go back, sort all of that out. I've got an idea of how they should be now, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to correct that over the coming kind of couple of weeks, next few weeks or whatever, before I write the next one. So I want to get that sorted out before I then write any more books. So what I'm planning at the moment is a trilogy following one particular character, or a couple of characters, featuring them, and then I'm going to go on to a kind of other trilogies featuring other characters. So I want to get all these little niggly things sorted out before I then write the next one. So that's where I am at the moment. I've completed that challenge that I'd set myself. I've had 9 days off work. Literally, this is the last day that I've got off work. So tomorrow I'm back at work, which is like 3 days up to New Year's Day. So I wouldn't have had a lot of time to write anything with back to work full time. I would have just maybe been able to do maybe an hour on the evening. I'm always extremely tired after I've been to work, so you can't be bothered to do any writing. So anyway, the plan for 2026 now is to get these next 3 books written, edited, covers designed, and published by kind of mid 2026. So I'm hoping like kind of June-ish to get the next 3 out there. Then I want to get the next 3 written before the end of 2026. So a year from now, basically, to have the next 6 books written, edited, published. I've actually got planned in this series, including the 2 that are the 2 novellas, which I've just kind of drafted, first drafts of. I've got 12 books that I want to write, all novellas. So I'm hoping I can get all of those done in the next couple of years. So by the end of 2027, I'm hoping that the majority of those are written, and I want to try and bring the Half Dead series to some kind of conclusion. I do have some standalone novels that I also want to write, which will be completely different characters but set within the same universe. But I can write them anytime, really, because I've got so many other different stories I just want to get on with. So I really want to get this series finished, or maybe to a point where it can be kind of seen to be finished, but then I could, at a later point, kind of continue with the series and develop the characters even further. I've got ideas for that, but I want to hopefully try and bring it to some kind of conclusion in the next couple of years. So that's my kind of plan. I think if you've seen a previous video that I did, I set out a 5-year plan and what I was going to do for the next 5 years writing wise. I'm going to go back to that and make another video about that, because in light of like the plans that I want to do. So I'm going to redraft that over the coming days as well, and I'll make a video and let you see what my actual plans are for 2026 and beyond. Anyway, New Year's coming up, so have a good one, and hopefully 2026 is a good one for all you writers. Getting your first novel written, completed, getting your first novel published, or getting the current work that in progress that you've got published out there, or even just starting a novel that you've always promised yourself that you were going to write. Hopefully 2026 is the year for you, for me, everyone who was writing their book. So, Happy New Year.